Hey, heathens. And hi, Jack. Jack's been a long time since I've done a response video to you. Let's have some fun. I waited to do this video because I want to make sure I thought through my responses and all that. I didn't want to wait too long so I can get it to you in relevant time because I know you wanted to do responses to them. But unfortunately, I waited just a little bit too late. And Kalen666, who is someone I've been subscribed to for years now, did a almost perfect response to you. So I'm going to link him there. You guys go watch him. I like this guy. He doesn't make videos all that often, but he makes a lot of sense, and I enjoy listening to what he has to say. So to your questions. You ask, are there any values intrinsic to atheism? If so, what are they, and are there any that you have as an atheist that I do not have as a theist? Now, Jack, I'm a fan of originality, but this doesn't seem to be a very original video for you. You've done this before. You know, what does atheism offer, I think is how you titled it. And you got pretty much the same answer then that you're probably going to get now, and it's the same answer you're going to get from now. What intrinsic value is there to atheism? Nothing. What intrinsic value is there to not believing in Santa Claus? What intrinsic value is there to not believe in the Easter Bunny? What intrinsic value is there to not believe in the Loch Ness Monster? There's no value in atheism. Now, off track from what you're asking, why be an atheist? Because that's where reality lies, as far as I see it. There's no reason to add a mystical flavor to anything. So, as an atheist, I don't live in a dogmatic world where a book tells me what I'm supposed to think. So since I don't have religion clouding my mind with philosophy that shouldn't be there, perhaps you could say that's a value to it, but it's not of atheism. That's of the way I see the world and all that. You could be an atheist but still accept the philosophical view of Christianity and that sort of thing. So as to your second question, are there any that I have that you don't? Obviously not. Question number 2. As an atheist, what does it mean to value this life? Well, I have a video I've already done about the meaning of life. That'll be linked down here as well. So to say that, what does it mean to value life? Again, as an atheist, nothing. To value life as an atheist is nothing. But what is the meaning to value life? Well, whatever you make it. But as an atheist who does not believe in an afterlife, this is the most important time of my life because it's the only life I get. You think that there's an afterlife, and so this life has some value, and then there's an afterlife. Which one is more valuable to you? See, now you can weigh the two, because value is a relative thing. You can't have tall without short. You can't have rich without poor. So you have to have something to contrast against. So to value something, you have to compare it to something that you value it against. You can value this life versus an afterlife, as you may see one with more value than another. I don't have another life. This is the only thing I have value in. So it's not really an answer, but that's the answer. And then based on number 2, how do you establish this belief to be true? And again, I refer you to Kalen's video where he goes into much greater detail about it. My opinion can't be true. It's simply my opinion. Kalen even stole my ice cream response, damn you, so I'm going to use a ham sandwich. If I think a ham sandwich is a wonderful lunch, that's my opinion. How I value that ham sandwich is still my opinion. How much I think a ham sandwich is the best sandwich on the planet is still my opinion. It's not true, it's just my opinion. So if I value life because it allows me to leave things for other people to remember me by or whatever, that's my opinion. If you value life because you got to cure cancer, that's your value. We all have our own opinion on it. There's no such thing as true in that aspect. Number 4, assuming you've established it to be true, which you can't, is it true for everyone or just you? Well, I guess I just answered that one. What you define as your opinion of the value of life is true to you, and what I define as my opinion of the value of life is true to me, based on the way we see it at that time. Number 5, what implications, if any, does this have on using your value of life as basis for judging what it means to value life to others? None. Now, having completed your questions there, again, I know that this entire thing was an offshoot of what you were doing with Man is Private, because he said that as a soldier, he's concerned about going into battle with people who don't value this life as much as he does. I do kind of side with you on the issue there, and I think that's probably what you're getting at, so you can use that clip to do your thing. Sorry, Mannix, nothing against you. But I do think you're kind of missing what Mannix is saying. Now, obviously, there are plenty, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, there are plenty of religious people who are insincere. If you believe you're going to heaven, then why fear death? Why be afraid of dying if you're convinced you're going to heaven? Now take that the next step. If you're convinced you're going to heaven and you're not afraid of dying, then why not go ahead and die? I'm not saying you should look to die. I'm saying that, if that is to be the outcome of an event, it's not that big of a deal. You just go on to heaven, right? So you could see where someone might try a little harder if they know that this is the only life they get, versus someone who thinks that, oh well, this grenade's going to blow up. I'm going to dive on it and go to heaven. So to that effect, I will tell Mannix he's wrong. He should take all of those Christian theists and remind them that if they die by landing on a grenade to save the rest of their troop they're in, they go to heaven. Everyone else carries on the fight. It'll be okay. It might not be a bad thing. I know that sounded horrible. I apologize already, because I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that. Yeah, it was a joke. Kind of. But anyway, the other side of that is that someone may decide, well, I'm going to heaven and commit suicide by military. I find that unlikely, and again, I do side with you on this, Jack. But it is similar to someone who commits suicide by cop. They stage an event, draw the cops out. The cops are on edge. They reach into their pocket. They don't have an actual gun, but they pretend like they do, and so the cops shoot them and kill them because they wanted to commit suicide but didn't have the guts to do it themselves. That's how I see what he's talking about. So I get what Mannix is saying. I just don't think he's saying it the right way. But I also understand and agree with what you're saying. So I hope this helped you in what you were doing with the video. And if you guys aren't watching Jack's videos, you really should. Even though he may not agree with you, he's a reasonable guy and makes good stuff. So check out Together for Peace. But as always, don't take my word for it. Think for yourselves.